It's my pleasure. Kia ora koutou. Ngā mihi nui kia koutou. So my name's Michaela and I've been working at Albany Senior High School for just over 2 years. Our students are from year 11, 12 and 13 and we study NCEA qualifications. We work in a big learning environment like the one you can see now. And the modern learning environment is very much in vogue. New schools are being built and old schools redesigned with open spaces as the main spaces for teaching and learning. I love working in this environment, but is it academically effective? Professor John Hattie of University of Melbourne shows us the open space class ranks only 10th in a list of other more positive effects. However, collaborative teacher efficacy, teachers working together as evaluators of our impact, is top, and these ways of working are an intrinsic part of open space learning. So what does this actually look like in action? At Albany Senior, we have a series of kind of mantras such as have conversations that matter and don't turn a blind eye. So if a teacher next to me can see one of my students is off task, I welcome them to step in. In fact, I expect it, and that's quite a different mental model than when you come from a traditional classroom, I've found. All schools and all teachers that I know seek excellence. So for me as a teacher, on display for 100% of the time, for 100% of my lessons, I've certainly had to raise my game. And I see excellence all around me and all the time. And this enables me to work as part of a team. The open spaces help us to build the team. So, for example, working next to my history colleague, we can see great opportunities for our students to connect their learning and therefore boost their grades. And as Jane Gilbert says, if we are trying to teach students to collaborate, if we haven't had that actual experience ourselves, how are we going to know what to do? Consequently, I'm always learning from my colleagues and our students in the open space environment. And we've had to work on how we share the same space. And this has led me to reflect a little bit on the nature of being a teacher. If I'm not learning about my students, I'm not really a teacher. And that gets to the heart of what kai ako actually means, I feel. My useful phrase is, that was interesting, tell me more. It's very positive for our students to see us teachers as learners, so we really are all in it together, and that has huge power. Students who test the boundaries regarding behaviour have a whole community there to support them. Teachers are never isolated in the way that you might be within your four walls in a traditional building. It's also been really powerful to negotiate how we use and share the shared space. Living in a community can be really challenging, and there's great learning in that. One thing I really love about the open space is to do with my school systems, because the systems support ways of being that are ranked highly by both Professor John Hattie and Professor Jane Gilbert, and we have excellent results. So I wouldn't choose to teach in the four walls of a traditional classroom again, but it's the building of relationships and the open to learning mindset that matter most. So I wrote a little blog post at Māori Student Success on this that goes into this in a little bit more detail. I'd love to have you leave a comment if you've got time. Furthermore, there's a growing number of fabulous resources which support us in learning and teaching in this kind of environment. So nō reira, tēnā koutou, tātou katoa. Thanks heaps for listening.